Assalamualaikum everyone, I am Aisha Malal and today we will discuss speciesism. It is very kind of tricky term, so let's break it down into two words, species and ism. Species is the organisms and ism is kind of a belief. So together it means speciesism is the belief that one species, usually humans, are more important than all others. It's like placing humans at the center of value, often ignoring or minimizing the words of other living beings. Moreover, if for better understanding, let's consider an example of a ladder. For example, in a ladder, each step represents a different form of life, ranked from the most important to the least important. So here, it is very easy to say or easy to visualize how societies are divided in these ranking systems, where the higher authorities and the people or the group on the first step are more important and are most important category. So this ladder helps us visualize how societies have historically categorized and valued living beings. So if we get a better understanding of this ladder, we see at the top rung of the ladder we find Europeans, who were often portrayed as fully human and civilized, and the middle rung are colonized people who they colonized, and they were treated as primitive or animal-like and more like they were treated very unfairly. So the top rung was the Europeans and the middle rung was the colonized peoples who colonizers have the idea of supreme power on. And from there we see that this ladder is just not the reflection of speciesism, but also telling us how ideas of superiority and inferiority have been used to justify inequality and dominations. So it's like if we see, there's a concept called racism, where one race is better than the other race, and it's like where one race is more important than the other race and the other race is neglected. Same here, the Europeans were treating the colonized people as the neglected human beings, and they were treated as animals or lower humans. Moreover, if we see, they bring a lot of destructions in the societies where the colonizers treated the colonized people unfairly. There was a lot of destruction, and they played with their minds. They were manipulative, and they manipulated the lower classes and the colonized people. If we see, the Europeans were always mentioned as the people who were with a civilized mission, and the colonized people were always seen as the animal. So from here it gets the idea of speciesism. The Europeans were treated the colonized people as animals, so they treated them as a lower species. So from here it's very clear how the speciesism is related to the post-colonial ideas. And moreover, if we see, there's a term anthropocentrism, where the humans are centers and the all other species or all other organisms were seen as the lower or as the neglected part of the society. Same happened when Europeans were seen as the center of the place, and the other peoples were treated as the animals and primitives. So these ideas clearly reflect the ideologies of the Europeans, like how they treated the colonized people as animal-like or primitive beings.